Hi everyone, it's James here from Pro Tools Expert, back with another gear review. This time we get a first look at the new EC300 delay effects processor from McDSP. Now we first saw this one back at the NAMM show back in January, and it gives me great pleasure to give you this first kind of overview look. So, what have we got? The effect itself comes in three types: magnetic, digital, and analog. All three kind of giving a very different flavour of delay. Now, delay is one of my favourite effects. There is nothing better than getting down and dirty and creating some mad sounds with really cool delays. And EC300 does that really, really well. So what I've got here is three different guitar parts that kind of form a track, and they kind of work together pretty well. But I want to use EC300 to create some really kind of cool retro guitar sounds. So we're going to start with this kind of basic muted pattern. And I've just chosen an 8th note ambient preset. Now if I want to, I've got controls for saturation, wow and flutter, because as you'd expect, magnetic is a tape-based emulation. Feedback. My main mix control, full wet. Input and output controls, high pass and low pass. And my main delay time settings. Now at the moment, as you can see down here, I'm using the host BPM, which is 100. And I can move up and down in note values, which is very cool. Or I can switch over here and go into time base. Let's go back to notes and stick with 8th note. It could be triplet, or dotted, or none. That's pretty cool, I like that. I've also got three modes of operation: single, or mono, dual mono, and ping pong. Let's stick to dual. Now where things get really nerdy is when we open up and you see exactly what's under the hood of this baby. We've got controls over the tape emulation itself, which is very, very cool. Spread, balance, feedback mix, an EQ section, and a dynamic section. Very, very nice indeed. And we can bury that again for simplicity. We've also got a width control and an offset, so I can make that muted part really, really wide. Yep, I like that a lot. Very, very cool. So let's move on to this next part and the next of our delay types. We're now in a digital delay, and you can see it's very similar layout. We've still got single, dual, ping pong. We can get into everything that we need to. But now, under the hood, if you like, we've got a lot more going on. We've still got our EQ, we've still got our dual adjustment, and we've still got our dynamics. But now, we have speaker simulation as well, which is very, very cool. And loads of different types. Rotary speaker, studio phone, all that sort of stuff. Very, very cool indeed. Now, this particular preset doesn't really use that very much because, like a good delay line can, we don't have to have specific delay repeats, like 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. A delay line is exactly that. It's just delaying the signal. So we can actually create chorus effects and flange effects using a delay, which is what we've done here. Feedback the delay can be so cool. We can get in mess with the modulation now. We also have a delay character setting, which means we can tweak things. Let's put the speaker simulation in. I kind of like the fax machine, strangely. And if we think it's getting too complicated, we can always bury it down. Very, very cool indeed. Let's move on to the last one, the analog delay. Now this time I've put it on a fully saturated kind of lead guitar part. So again, I'm not actually doing specific repeat delays. What we're using it for is a proper old-fashioned delay line. Again, very, very cool. For me, this is the simplest of all of them. Let's go into dual mode. As you'd expect, there are hundreds of presets to dive through, but I've just chosen 3 that show off this thing to its absolute best. I love the fact you don't have to have specific delays. You can get really down and dirty with kind of interesting modulation effects and stuff like that. Very, very cool. And if we put them all together, we get something forming craziness. I absolutely adore delays because they can do some really crazy, unpredictable things. I can see this being used on a load of my stuff, certainly on guitars and keyboards, just to fatten things up and make things a bit more interesting, a bit more random, a bit less predictable. So there you go, that's a very brief look at the EC300 analog delay from McDSP. Hope you enjoyed that. I've been James from Pro Tools Expert, and I'll see you again soon for some more gear talk.